What's up, everybody? I'm Mischief, and thank you for joining me. Today we're going to go over both the tents I used on my Appalachian Trail 2020 last from Springer to the Mason-Dixon line. So yeah, let's get into it. We're going to be going over the Laurel Designs Dual-Mid and the 6 Moons Designs Lunar Solo. So yeah, stick around. Alright, first up, we're going to talk about the Laurel Designs Dual-Mid. What did I like, what did I didn't, and the experience I had with them, with the company, after I had a failure with the zipper. Alright, first up, this is a bomber shelter. Before the zipper messed up on it, this thing had been through every kind of weather situation you could think of, and it never let me down. The best thing about it is you can just put the 4 corners in, put the pole up, and you can wait out a rainstorm. It takes like less than a minute to do it. When Brent and Garvey joined me from Hampton to Damascus, we both sit in there I don't know how many times just because it was pouring down rain so hard, and it just, where it's Dyneema, it don't absorb water, so it never got heavier. It's super simple to set up. You just do the 2 back corners, put the pole up, do the other, the front guy line right there, and then you stake out the other 2, and then you pull it a little bit tight, and you go around and put in the other 3. And as you've seen in the B-roll, the inner clips to the back, you hook it to the top, and then you stake out the 2 front. Now, I love this thing when it's just the tarp. The inner for it is the Laurel Designs Solo XL inner. For me, it's still like a coffin. I can put my pad in there, and I can just put a couple of things beside me, and the rest of it has to go out here in the vestibule. Now, that's not normally a problem, but when everything's all muddy or there's snow on the ground and so on, I kind of like being able to put my stuff inside the tent. Now, the weights for them, I can't think of right off the top of my head, but I'll put it down here right now. Alright. That's the good about it. I mean, it's really lightweight. It's bomber whenever the zipper works on it. And yeah, it's just a real great shelter when it's just the tarp. Like I said, the inner, I just don't care too much for it. So if I continue using this, it's just going to be in the winter time, tarp only. Now the bad. This thing went from all my hikes, shorter hikes last year, and it went from Parisburg to Springer, Parisburg, Virginia to Springer. The zipper actually messed up on me whenever I was going Springer to Irwin, and it messed up like right here. Like I would zip it down to there, and then it would split the rest of the way. And that made me have more or less the tarp with no doors that would not keep me dry. I dealt with it, just mainly stayed in shelters and stuff the last week or so on that trip. When I got back, I actually emailed Laurel Designs while I was out there. They told me to mail it to them and they would fix it. Well, whenever I got back, about a week after I emailed them, I sent it to them. And then my buddy sent me that 6 Moons Designs Lunar Solo to continue my hike with, because we didn't know how long it would actually take. And then he ended up actually gifting that to me. But where my issue with this tent comes from, the zipper messed up on it. I sent it to them to fix it. They sent it back. Can't find the letter that they sent with it. I wish I could. They basically said when they received it, it was dirty. There was dirt in the zipper pull. I was on a long lash, and your gear is going to get dirty. I tried to clean it up a little bit before I sent it to them, but I was trying to hurry up and get back on the trail. So, but that ain't the big thing. They said they fixed the zipper, but there was a tooth down towards the bottom, about 10 inches up from the bottom, that was bent. They said they straightened it and it might work for now. Might work for now. So, saying it might work for now whenever you was supposed to fix the zipper, and then me having second guesses about taking it on any trip, because what if I can't get it, the zipper don't work for me? I mean, as expensive as this tent was, $455 for the tarp, $2 something for the inner. You would think if they had a problem with it within that year period, that they would actually fix it to where they could guarantee it would actually keep working. Not saying that it might work. And then on top of that, they said that there were some spots on it that needed some DCF repair tape. Okay, that's fine. They didn't send any DCF repair tape. They didn't put on that letter whereabouts on the tent that it needs DCF tape. I mean, I looked and looked and looked. I can't really see where they would actually be talking about. So if I don't know, and I start getting rain all in my tent because needs tape covering up a little abrasion area or a little pinhole or something, then you get what I mean? I think that's kind of poor customer service in my opinion. I love Laurel Designs, I love their products, but that's the first time I've dealt with them for their customer service, and I just think it could have been improved. But anyways, that's my thoughts on the Laurel Designs Duomid. When the zipper was working, it was an awesome shelter. But the zipper failed on me, and now I'm not too sure about even taking it out for more than like a weekend trip. So, yeah. So now, let's get into the 6 Moons Design Lunar Solo. This is the Lunar Solo. I got this tent whenever I got back from the Irwin trip, whenever I was getting my Duomid repaired. My buddy Mark Thompson let me borrow it, and he ended up gifting it to me. He had had this thing for about a year, using it like crazy, so it had some wear and tear already. But yeah, I absolutely really enjoyed this tent. It was like a mansion inside compared to the Duomid inner, and there isn't really anything bad I could say about this tent other than two things, which I'll get into in a minute. But what I like is so easy to set up. Take the back corners, go with the line, the seam, and stake it out on both sides. Come up here, put your pole in, but don't hook it into the grommet. Put your pole in, stake that out, come over, stake out your two corners following the seam again, and then reset your pole, put in the grommet, and you're good. I also used 2 sticks. I would find wherever I was at, and I would tie out the corners where it would be pulling up instead down, and that would give me more head and foot room. But the only, there's really, this is an awesome tent. I just wish they would make it in DCF. That would make it like the perfect tent. Now, there's 2 things I did not like about this tent. But before I go into them, I looked on Six Moon's website a couple of days ago. They've actually already fixed these 2 problems. First problem is the way these guidelines are. I'll show you a close-up in a minute. You can see here, I had to tie it to keep it from slipping. It's just a poor design in my opinion. And the same thing happened up here, where it hooks. It used to hook up under here. The ribbon come apart, so now I was having to tie it up here and got it out. But the back guideline back there, I was more or less having to pull it and tie it because it started fraying apart. For some reason they got webbing for the guideline. It should be just like regular guideline rope or line, however you want to put it. Which they've changed that for fall of 2020. They changed from the ribbon to actual guideline. I had with this tent. Only other really issue, and that's just because of the material it's made out of. It's made out of a nylon poly. It's made out of seal poly. It don't absorb water as bad as steel nylon, but when it gets wet, it like doubles its weight. That's why I was saying if they would make this tent in DCF, it would be probably one of the best single person tents out there. So that's about all I got to say about it. I mean, it's just an awesome tent, and for a little bit over $200, it's hard to beat. So as you can see, I basically don't have a tent for next year. My Duomid, I can't trust it to take it out. I mean, I'm worried about the zipper messing up on me again. All the guidelines, like the one I just showed you, all of them's like that. They're starting to fray and everything. So, yeah, my plan, it's one of 2 tents. It depends on which one I'm able to afford by my start date for my plan next year. And I know I keep hinting about it, but I'm going to make an announcement video January 1st announcing my really big plan. And it may be a little bit different than what people is expecting me to say, like finish the AT. It's going to be a little bit more than that. But I'm either going to be getting another one of these that's updated, or if I'm able to afford it and it works out, I'll get Z-Packs Ultraplex. That way I can lower my weight down even more to be able to afford to carry almost 3 pounds of camera gear I'm planning on taking with me to up my photography and the video quality. It's going to be worth it, and I'm trying to get my weight down as much as I can to where I'm still around the 12 to 13 pound range. And if I get the Ultraplex, that should put me about there, because that saved me about 8.5 ounces over distance. But we'll see what happens and see how it goes. Y'all will see all the gear I end up with once I start making my gear videos for the trip. But yeah, anyways, I hope you all had a great day. Have an even better night. And yeah, I'll see y'all real soon.